I'm just a kid from Robbins. I grew up in the village of Robbins. I'm a proud Robinite, as we call them. I love that community. It's what made me what I am, the good, the bad, and the indifferent. And I wouldn't change it. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a brother, I'm a son. I'm just Mick. I'm a laughing, happy, fun-loving type of person. I speak my mind. I listen. I make mistakes because I'm not perfect, and I'm just Mick. Well, I was blessed. Both of my parents were firefighters. I'm a multi-generational firefighter, so it's kind of like the family business for me. So I really had a easy way of getting in, but I was always around the firehouse with my dad or with my uncles or cousins, and it was just something that was a lifelong love for me. What made me want to do it? I think it was the first time just seeing the fire truck, being at the firehouse and actually seeing it pull out of the fire station and watching those guys on the rig driving and going. And it was just a level of excitement that I've never felt before. And I was like, I don't ever want to not feel this again. I started as a junior cadet with the Robbins Fire Department at 10 years old, and I've been an active member of the fire service ever since. I worked my way from junior cadet to full cadet to full-fledged firefighter in Robbins. And I worked my way up the ranks there. I was a lieutenant, captain, deputy chief, and ended as the acting fire chief. But through the years, I also worked in all in the south suburbs, but I worked in the village of Riverdale. I was a fire chief there. I was the fire chief in the village of Phoenix, and I was a deputy fire chief in the village of Fort Heights.
And so now you're
the fire chief in Richton Park. I think diversity is a very important aspect of being successful in the fire service. If you think about food, I know I'm a bigger guy, so I guess that's an analogy that people will believe me. Ingredients, more ingredients usually make things taste better. So if you look at it from that aspect, the more different elements and experiences that people have and cultural backgrounds and things of that nature, that makes people better. I can learn from someone that is not like me and make me a better fire chief, a better husband, a better father, a better person. And I can speak for the black community. A lot of black firefighters became black firefighters because they saw a black firefighter. As I spoke to earlier, some of the intimidation that comes with going into the fire department is not being relatable to what you see. And they don't know, and there's some unnecessary fears that are just instilled in people. And the more comfortable you feel, the more likely you are to actually go out and ask those questions or get that advice or those types of things. So, a representation of the community that's very important. DEI gets looked at in the wrong manner a lot. DEI doesn't mean black. It doesn't mean woman. It doesn't mean gay. It means equality for everybody. And I think that when we get some of those stereotypes away from the wording, then people will be a lot more intrigued and involved with DEI. When you actually look at the background of what DEI and why it was created, it wasn't to give unfair advantages to unqualified people, and that is a stereotype. It was actually made to give everybody the same chance because there were barriers that were put in place because of the color of your skin or your sexual preference or your gender. And that was a way to remove those things and still be able to get qualified people. This climate division is something that is happening a lot more than we would like for it to happen. But in the fire service, we're dependent on each other no matter what you look like, what race you are, what gender you are, what sexual preference you are. I depend on you and you depend on me with our lives. And if the country can understand that, I think that we would have a much better and much more understanding country, because in police and fire, the fire doesn't care what you look like. It doesn't care about any of those biases that can come up. You know, when police officers are doing their job, you know, the bad guys don't care. And we learn how to depend on each other, and we're able to be respectful to each other, and we're able to have conversations that most people couldn't have, and we're still loving and brotherly. And I think that's why this is the greatest profession in the world, is because we learn to adapt and overcome.